Small fan base? Well, that's no problem because this drop strategy pays anyway, and it's the exact system that most artists still aren't using. So if you've been releasing music the normal way, then just dropping and hoping it catches, you're not losing momentum. You're actually losing money. And the truth is, you don't need more fans. You just need a better plan. Okay, so you spent weeks preparing a release and you post the link everywhere, and then it's just crickets. Like it's not because your music isn't good. Let me just say that. Well, maybe it is, I don't know, but it's because your release strategy is built for streams and not sales. Okay? That's like my whole theme this month. But if you want fans to actually buy, support, and share, well then you need to build anticipation for levels of access, not just drop and disappear like most of us do out here. Because most artists drop music like they're just throwing darts in the dark, and one big release will lead to one big hope and no real plan for who it's for or how it's sold. And then you're giving the same product to strangers, superfans, and casual browsers all at once. And that's why it falls flat. Like you're not selling music, you're sending it into the abyss. What are you doing? Come on, man. Look. Let's put it together. I'm gonna show you what I did, and then I'm gonna break it down for you because I think you need to understand the point that I'm getting at. My point is this: when I started purchasing music again after the CD era and after the Spotify streaming 1.0 era last year, I started buying on even, and then the next year I started buying even more, which is this year. And it's kind of bringing back the effect that I got with physical music. So long as I'm a fan of that artist, that's the key. But when I recently got an album, like I noticed that this artist spaced their releases out across different types of platforms and at different times for different fan segment tiers, right? Then the light bulbs went off because it's not that I didn't know that this was possible. It's just that as long as I've been talking about this stuff, not many people have actually done it. But one thing independent artists are coming to a consensus on in the last 9 months or so is that Spotify will be used for cataloging and promotional benefits. And this will change the value of music for the next 20 years. So let's jump in. So we got to tier your releases by fan segment. Because most of you all will think that you should put everybody into one basket on the streaming services and then everything's just gonna be all right. The truth is, as a record label owner, you want to get the most bang for your efforts. So you got to tier your album offering out to different levels of your fan base. And the reason why your music isn't actually making any money is because you're not really giving people what they want from your music. It boils down to levels of access. You want to give the casual listeners, i.e. the browsers, the stream. And you want to give the supporters the D2C album at its base level. And you want to give the fans the same album, but with bonus features on them. Then turn around and promote the premium bonus album features on your social media so potential fans can feel like they're about to actually miss out on something. This way, everybody in your fan army feels appreciated and most of all, seen. Serve your customers correctly and they will serve you is what I'm saying. So if you tier these people out, if you tier it across the board and then you advertise the most advanced one, then everybody's gonna be like, oh, I gotta get that. And even if I don't get that, I gotta tell somebody that they got it, they can get that. Or I can maybe strive to get that. You see what I'm saying? And then we gotta use FOMO like the majors do. So if you're just getting going, you may have the belief of dropping the single and saying out now, but this is a low level builder of FOMO. In fact, doing that says nothing if fans aren't actually already aware of you. And if you're watching this, they probably aren't. So the real reason that you're stuck on the easy way out is because you don't know how to actually sell and promote to create FOMO and anticipation and urgency. To create FOMO, you want to take the premium album and express the benefits the superfan will get when they buy and compare it against the cheaper Spotify version. Then say it will only be available for a limited time as pay what you want, even before you set the price. So I bet you just set up in your seat right there because this is what most creatives don't know how to do. It's selling. When you do this, you will notice an immediate shift in the urgency of your audience, provided you already have them engaged from the jump. That's the prerequisite right there. Okay. Now we got to turn streaming into a catalog, not necessarily a cash grab. Because for the last 20 years of streaming, Spotify has held the reins on you don't need anything else but Spotify. However, this playing field has evened, no pun intended, and you can't continue to put every customer into one basket because that is stopping your cash flow. Spotify is a promotional tool and a music market for casual listeners and browsers. That's it. So when you're done running your limited time runs, then you finally want to drop your full album on Spotify for its cataloging mechanisms. Because there are a lot of other sources that feed into Spotify's cataloging system and other streaming services catalogs for your music, like Spotify for Business and Pandora for Business. Your music can be played in businesses and other establishments. But this way, your music can live on for people doing their due diligence as they find you later. So you want to get the bulk of your cash up front and get the residuals on the back end. Streaming 2.0 is not about the eradication of streaming services, but about the proper usage of them, even as Spotify is struggling as a company right now. Then you want to keep it continuous. We got to keep the ball rolling because a lot of you all and the new executives believe once you drop, it's over, but that's not true. On the front end of a drop, you've only got, let's say, one chance at building anticipation. But on the back end of a promotion, you can still scale your offering a bit more before you even get into your promotional touring run. And if you drop a project, you can actually create a gap between the Spotify drop and another event that requires a code from the D2C purchase to get access at a discounted rate. Now, this could be a public digital listening experience or whatever you want it to be to continue driving sales, right? So you can keep doing this through the D2C album as much as you want, depending on the platform, right? This way you can meet your income goal for the album. Shh, don't tell nobody I gave you this now. Like it's a real game. If you caught what I said, you might want to rewind it 15, 20 seconds. If you caught what I said, I just gave you some game, all right? Now, I need y'all to stop doing this. Just quit, right? Because a lot of you all are going to go back to the drop it everywhere and hope it catches mentality as a release strategy. But that's the exact reason your drops die on arrival. And this comes from the industry lie that all exposure is good exposure. So long as your music is on Spotify, someone will eventually find it, right? Wrong. If you keep relying on random drops, you'll keep getting random results. No sales, no momentum, and no fan connection. Instead, you need to segment the base, build up your anticipation, and stagger your releases based on access and demand. You follow me now, because I used to believe that streaming services were the main event as well. We all in the same boat. The same concept exists with my YouTube, right? I believe that if I dropped it there and I promote it hard, people would buy. However, that's a partial truth because I got more buyers the moment I created exclusivity and FOMO with products, bonus content, and tiered access. And the moment I stopped chasing streams and views, which was my YouTube, and started building desire, sales followed. The same thing can happen for you as well. We're no different. We're in the same influencer boat. So this is why you need to fix this for your next release, because artists are waking up to the truth. Not all, but some. Spotify isn't the store, it's the radio. I mean, a lot of us knew this, but we just didn't have a lot of alternatives. Sales are going to happen before the stream. And therefore, if you don't adapt, you'll get buried in the noise because fans need value, not just access. And the platforms rewarding that value are already winning. And this is the greatest renaissance for music happening right now. And if you wait, you'll still be shouting out now into the void, in the abyss, while smarter artists are stacking cash and building super fans who actually pay to listen. I'm a super fan. I purchase D2C albums. I pay to listen. If it's good and I watch your promo run and I see the effort that you put in and it's good, I'll pay for it. And I have, and I still am. So you can either keep dropping music and hoping that it turns into sales, even though deep down you know that that strategy has been failing you, or you can step into the role of a real music entrepreneur and build a release strategy that actually brings in money, builds anticipation, and treats every drop like a product and not a post. I want you to test this system on your next drop. Tier your offer out and stagger the rollout, build the FOMO, and then watch what happens when your release becomes an event. Because the real question isn't, should you do this? Say it with me. It's how much longer can I afford not to? And if you're serious about selling your music, not just streaming it, then click the link below and meet me every Monday night at 7 p.m. Eastern Standard Time in the Music Money Makers community to make this a reality for you. But you gotta get off that cliff, man. You gotta bring it back because you may not have fans, but this strategy builds them. And if no one's buying now, it's because people don't buy when there's no reason to, right? This plan creates the reason, and you don't need to be perfect. You just got to be consistent. The truth is, it's not the strategy, your skills, or your resources. It's the fear of failing before you even start. The strategy works because it's a principle. This ain't nothing fancy. Like, I don't teach tactics. The tools work, and your skills are more than enough, but only if you stop waiting for perfect conditions and just execute. You know what I mean? It's not gonna be pretty when you do. It ain't gonna be the fanciest thing, but you're gonna execute and you're gonna get results. Or you're just gonna keep wasting your best music on unprofitable drops that no one remembers, which you'll doubt yourself and your gifts because, oh, it didn't work, even though it was the method, right? It was the method, it wasn't the music. So either you become the artist that sells the music intentionally, or you stay the artist that hopes fans care. One path pays, the other drains. I don't want to be on the draining path with you. But before you watch this, you probably were dropping music and praying for plays and giving every fan the same version of the drop, which is a no-no, and hoping Spotify would do the heavy lifting. And now you got the keys to segment your fans, stagger your releases, and actually sell your music. You're not just an artist anymore. You're not. You're a strategist. You're an influencer. You're a closer. You're a movement in motion. So music money makers, if you make music, you should always make money. Log on to musicmoneymakeover.com, jump into the 60-day record label course, join the Music Money Makers crew, grab the free stuff, like, comment, share, and subscribe to this video, and I'll see you next time. Peace.